this kid doesn't tap the chokes. So they're like, put him in a head and arm, let's see how it goes. Kid went to sleep.
Put him out, dude.
Put him out.
We'll bring in Gianni Grippo from New York, a black belt from Marcelo Garcia, Nogi world champion as of 2024, Kasai veteran, and the list goes on. Guys, without anything else, this is Gianni.
And thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate it. Thank you for making it happen last minute. I was in town. I'm like, hey, why not try to teach a class while I'm out here? If you guys don't know me, my name is Gianni Grippo. Like you said, I'm a black belt in Marcelo Garcia. I'm 32 years old, and I've been training since I was 10. So I've been training for more than 2/3 of my life. And in that time, I've worked with a lot of different instructors. And what I always try to tell people that come to my seminars is, we have a set focus on what I want to try to get through to you guys today. But if you can take 1 or 2 details from today and make it into your own and add it into your game, I feel like that'll be very beneficial for you. So today, I'm not going to give you any one particular technique. I'm going to put you guys in a situation, and I'm going to allow you guys to explore through certain situations. So if you guys know a little bit of my game, I'm pretty good at finishing head and arms, katakatamis, whatever you like to call it. I want to focus on trying to find ways to get into the position and making your finish and your control from the position stronger. First, we're just going to start up with a warm-up game just for a few minutes, and then we'll start getting into more of the games that lead up into the head and arms. You want to pretend that you have like a white suit, and let's pretend Kevon's got some dirty ass feet, and we want to keep those feet away from us, right? There's 3 rules in this case. 1, I want to try to stay up on my feet the whole time. 2, I don't want to be too far away from him because yes, his feet can't connect to me, but I'm not going to be able to come close to a pass, right? 3, the third rule is it's a continuous game. We're not going to go to the side, so we're not going to fully pass. We're going to focus on trying to get as close to the pass as we can, but without completing it. So keep in mind, the more that we stay away from our partner's feet while staying engaged, the more opportunities we're actually going to have to find a pass. And on the flip side, the more he keeps his feet connected to me in any way he can, usually a better opportunity for him to start chaining attacks together. So the whole purpose of the game is to focus on staying past my partner's heel line however you can. That can be through headquarters, that can be through circling to the side, that can be going to north-south, any way that you guys like, but you see I'm staying engaged with my partner the entire time. Just move for a second to kind of give you the idea. So it's just a continuous game, no player can win, but my goal is just to stay past his feet for as long as I can. You can even try to hold the spot, control the shins, and Kevon's ready to go. It looks like that coffee is kicking in. Let's go, 1, 2, 3. Let's go, guys. 3 minutes each. Just remember, light. It doesn't have to be crazy. It's not a world's final. It's just the warm-up. Side, however you like, and she's just trying to make connections with her feet. You want to stay engaged, too. All right, guys, how are we feeling? Not too much heavy breathing, right? So, guys, we're gonna be starting from the mouth, all right? This is a very common spot to be starting to look for the head and arms. And the objective always, when we're looking to get to the katakatame, is trying to get our partner's shoulders or getting their elbows above their shoulders. My only objective is to find ways to get one or both arms above his head from here. So I won't give you guys an exact way because there's not one right or wrong way of getting the arm above the shoulders. You can choose one, getting under, and then fighting for the second from here. You can just go both at the same, if you get under both arms at the same time and getting the arms over, that's good from here. Any way that you guys can start finding a way to get your partner's elbows above their shoulders, by all means, give it a shot. And this is like a try and fail period. For this game, guys, every time there's a win on either the top player or the bottom player, you're gonna switch top and bottom. A few pieces of advice for when you're getting the arms above the shoulders from here, or the elbows above the shoulders from here, is focusing on trying to get underhooks, right? Always looking for underhooks, but not just any underhooks. I try not to go too deep with the underhook. Say if I get an underhook by his armpit from here, even if I'm bigger than Kevon, he's gonna be able to really keep his elbow in easy. And a lot of times this is how we get bridge swept over from here. If guys are keeping good frames or staying tight, my main objective is to try to get my bicep and forearm just under his elbow. It doesn't have to be all the way underhook on the arm. If I can maybe get a good crossface or underhook with his head, if I can just get a little bit under the elbow, his arm is very weak from here. It's very easy for me to fight that up. Even if he's staying really tight here, I can get that arm above his head. I get 1, and then it's easier to start fighting for the second one from there. You can also find ways to pin an arm down, start looking for underhooks, start getting under your elbow, bringing the arm up. Like I said, I don't want to give you one right or wrong way. I want you guys to use this as an opportunity to kind of explore the position. All good? I can't tell. Is that all good? Okay, cool, cool. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. On that left side. Yeah.
Grabbing.
It's okay. Keep fighting it up. Keep just walking your arm up, trying to stay behind the elbow from there. Yeah, once you lose the elbow, then it gets hard. It's not easy. It's not easy. Especially when they know what you're trying to do.
No, you don't have it yet. You don't have it yet. My elbow's out.
Sure.
Is that above his head?
Yeah, it's above the head.
It doesn't have underhooks though.
Guys, these games are supposed to be light. They're getting violent. Look at this. You got a bloody nose. There's one person's, torn hamstring over there. Okay, time, guys. So that one's a challenge. Honestly, I think the next one might even be a little bit easier. So I kind of, it's kind of like putting on. I used to swim on swim teams, so you wear resistance, and then you take it off and you start swimming a lot faster. So maybe this will be a little bit like that. Anything that you felt like was a real problem? A couple of hands are raised. I'll come to you next. Yes.
Getting the second arm was tough. I felt like other things opened up besides getting the second arm, but I had a struggle kind of getting the second arm.
Yeah, it is tough. Kevon, do you mind if I use man? Yeah. And I was thinking of this as we were going on. I'm like, what details could I add when we come back here? Because getting that second arm is difficult. But usually I try to think of when I gather one arm, I try to get heavy on that side so that I know this is secured. And now it makes it easier for me to start focusing on the other side with maybe a little bit more, less weight to work with. So I try to get underhooks and then focus on finding ways to stay heavy on that arm. So now I can really just focus on gathering that second arm. I saw a lot of people trying a lot of different things. And like I said, I won't give you exactly one, but a few things that work for me. Sometimes you're going to get these guys, they're going to stay really tight like this. I was going for an Ezekiel, like a Nogi Ezekiel, which I think is, there's a couple people were going for it. So I even say guys are keeping their arms by their sides from here. What I like to do is just kind of bait an Ezekiel here. Look what that does. That gets him, if you give it enough pressure, that's going to get him to hand fight. Then you have the ability to bring your knees up. And now look, you've trapped his arms a little bit. And from here, it's going to be easier to start getting under the elbows. That's a great option as well. So when we're in these spots, it's an opportunity for us to try to be creative and find different paths to get there. When guys start going to the side, what is the goal? I always try to find ways to keep their back flat to the mat. I look to, I do this to Kevon all the time. He turns, I look to get like my bicep, just the side of his face, just to keep his back to the mat. Then maybe he's gonna go the other way. I'm just gonna bicep hit him like this. Not super hard, not gonna forearm check him. But I will, as soon as they start turning, I'll just kind of start getting a light crossface and focusing on just keeping his back to the mat. Okay, cool. So like I said, I feel like this next one might be a little bit easier. We're just going to be focusing on actually getting into the head and arm, all right? So we're going to be starting with an arm under the head, and we're going to start with one underhook this time. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Remember, keeping your hands connected is going to make it hard to get that head and arm. We got to open where that arm is. Oh, I don't like this. You don't like that? I just focus on trying to have my toes touch together.
Toes touch together?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I need it like here.
Like, if you can control the shoulder and have your position good enough, you can let go of your hands and kind of use your free right hand to push out.
Yeah.
Or even, I focus on trying to get my head under enough and driving my head into this so I can get that arm more across the face.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
So,
Yeah, like using the back. Yes, exactly.
Okay.
That's the idea. What's up, dude?
Are you gonna show your arm triangle details later?
Yeah.
The finishing details?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
You really want that? I'll do that.
I
got you. Okay. If you have a pyramid base, your knees are too far out, it's easier for them to get a knee to the inside. Okay? So I always try to think of getting my feet underneath and even crossing your feet. I think it's a really good control. He was just sliding on the
It was not, guys. That's bullshit.
ease up on the Tex-Mex, but
Now, if your head and arm position feels good, like if you're able to just bring your head in, I like to use this arm to help push it across. Like sometimes people will have their head facing towards their partner's head, and it's easier for them to bring it back. I like to go to side of my head, the back of my head, to help push across. And I'll even exaggerate here. You see how I'm bringing my head more over his? That helps bring his arm more across his face. Guys, so now a big proponent of being able to have a good head and arm is being able to maintain that control. Fully get the position. You can focus on having your head connected to your partner's head. You can have it fully locked on, but we are not allowed to get the finish. I feel like I can finish the head and arm when I want, but a good way of developing good control is to just try to keep it for as long as you can. All right, so we're gonna maintain here. We're not putting on a squeeze. We're just looking to maintain a good base, good control, maybe using your elbows to keep your base. Let's go, 1, 2, 3.
who's the mat? Huh? Who's the mat? Yeah, I'll show you that.
Who's the mat, team?
Yeah,
Who's the mat?
I just smell like shit, man. Right? Who's the mat? This smells like ass.
I even like to think of curling that leg, that right leg in. I think of like curl, like doing a hamstring curl. But I see some of us, like obviously we weren't looking for the finish yet. But I see some of you starting to switch to like almost kind of like that rear naked choke grip or that figure 4 grip. That's not bad, but just from my personal opinion, I feel like it's gonna be pretty hard to get the finish with that. I feel like when I start turning my wrist up towards the ceiling, the blade of my wrist, it starts becoming a little bit more of a crank. So when I have the head and arm, I usually try to rely on just staying palm to palm, gable grip, or when we look for the finish, if you feel like you're having a hard time generating enough pressure with this control, you just slide your hands up to your wrists. So it's a very subtle, small movement. That's the furthest I'll probably go. I don't really like to go here because I feel like it turns into something a little different from there. That's just my opinion. I'm sure you can get the finish. I see high-level guys still get the finish sometimes too, but I don't see it to be quite as effective. Does anybody have any questions about the control? Any issues, concerns? Yes.
What are you looking for as far as your head position? Because are you trying to use the side of your head into there, your forehead to the mat? Like, what's a general concept or method to know that you're doing the right thing with your head?
I feel like the difference between getting the finish and just being able to maintain the control is our head positioning. With my forehead on the mat, it's hard for him to bring his arm out, but I don't think it's very easy for me to get the finish from here. I'm not really putting my weight as much on top of him. So what I do try to focus on is I try to get the side of my head, like my ear is connected to his. Now, 1, he can't bring his arm out. 2, it's kind of misaligning his head positioning here. And then 3, I also really just feel like it helps me with my pressure for the finish. Like he's hover handing already, right? Yeah. A little word of advice, before we look for the finish, like focus on that head positioning first. I do notice when I teach this, so 9 times out of 10, that makes a lot of the difference. So with that, oh boy, our final game is going to be starting from that head and arm. And we're looking to find ways to get the finish. Now, guys, please, it's just a game. Tap. It's okay. Don't go to sleep. You're starting in the position. If you tap, there's no shame in it. My goal is to look for the finish. My partner's goal is to look to free his arm. Every time that happens, we're going to switch top-bottom. We'll go for a few minutes on that. Nothing super crazy. All right? And then we'll bring it back in, answer any questions, and we'll do some live rounds before the more live rounds after that. Because that's how we roll. All right? Let's go. 1, 2, 3.
Gotta contaminate, okay? Gotta contaminate, okay? I think it's Portuguese.
Yeah, Kiba, is that how you say it in Spanish?
Portuguese, yeah.
Oh, Portuguese.
How do you say that? It's croissant in Portuguese.
Hey, Dean, you are like losing, dude. Look at this position right now. Am I flat? All right.
What am I doing wrong?
Dean doesn't like losing, bro. Started with the frame.
I'll start with the towel. Oh!
Ready? Go.
It's a good 45 seconds. Oh, dude.
Is that it?
You see, now let's go.
I mean, I guess it's still on. Keep on. You gotta get your arm over to the other side.
Oh,
Oh, jeez.
Is that cheating?
I guess I wasn't really clear. Yeah, you could expand to something else.
I cheated.
All right, guys. Does anybody have any questions on the finishing mechanics?
I wanted to ask about the cell phone defense.
Like, what's my response to that?
Yeah.
So they say, like, they call it cell phone defense. I think about, like, breaking the phone.
Yeah.
Now, there's two different ways that can go. Yes, and there's two different options. So I'll give you guys two options. I was trying to choke J-Rod with this today, and it was very hard with his hand there. I will say that's the reason why I didn't get it. That's going to be my excuse. If that arm was on the other side, it would have been over. But if this hand is in the way, I usually don't like to waste my energy trying to finish from here. I want to get this arm back across, or there's a nice shoulder lock, like Americana type finish we have from here. So my head and arm positioning is good. My left hand's going to control the shoulder. My right hand is going to be reaching for his wrist, grabbing his wrist. And I'm just going to pull his forearm, his wrist over my head. And with my good head positioning from here, I can get the finish. Now, if my head is far away, I'm not going to get anything. So obviously I have to have good connection here. Then I can control the wrist. I can bring his wrist, his forearm over my head, and I can get the tap. I also like to use it. What happens is my partner starts becoming aware. Maybe they go back to that, Kevon. I start pulling the hand over. He fights against it. I can almost like think of it as like a slingshot right here. I let go and his hand goes back across the other side the more he fights against it. So if I let go real fast, a lot of times I find the ability to get his arm across easier, and now I can start cinching up that head and arm again. A second option that I really like as well, I don't know if you guys noticed, but a lot of times people will stay here, right? When you're first looking for the double unders or you're looking for an underhook. You start walking the arm up, and a lot of times you'll end up in this spot where their hand is kind of like caught underneath you, right? That's not the worst thing to be. If you get here, I like to bring my head over to your side, and what we can do if his hand is still caught, you can hollow your chest out, kind of like curling your back like a cat here, and my right hand is going to reach under for his wrist. And you find like a really nice Kimura-like submission from here. So head connected to the elbow, or inside of the elbow, lifting your chest up, and just pulling the wrist underneath you, and you get the tap there. It looks like bullshit, but it really works. Trust me. Trust him when I say that.
I got one more.
Yes, sir.
I noticed when you went up against Holly, when you're doing this, you put your far leg underneath his hip. Is that to like prevent him to bridge? Like,
yeah. Oh, sorry. I meant to get into that. Real quick. Sometimes when you're getting the finish, like, and you're sprawling and they're trying to turn away, I naturally will slide my knee like under their back. So even if they try to come back and face towards me, their hips are now really under control at this point. It's more of just like a natural reaction. Sometimes I'll even end up crossing my feet here, but I feel like I kind of wedge their hips really well, wedge their lower back by just getting my knee underneath. Usually that's going to happen the more that they try to turn away from you. So that kind of just controls the hips even more so. Yes?
When you teach a constraint-led approach class or ecological class, you usually structure it around like teaching a certain position, and like it all builds around that. Like today's class is the typical structure.
Yeah, that's usually the structure. Usually, and I'm gonna admit, guys, I'm very new to the approach. I've been teaching with Kevon for a little while now. I've been watching a lot of his classes. He does an amazing job at running good CLA classes, and it's something that's new to me. You guys were my test run today. Just letting you know. I hope I did all right. Yeah, it's usually focused on like a chest to back or a chest to chest connections, and focusing on a certain attacks from there. There's a lot of variety to it, but yeah, I try to keep it centered on one specific goal in mind. Today was a little bit more focused than maybe even a normal class though. All good, you guys? So I'm thinking let's get a few rounds before what do you call it, 10, 20 rounds?
20 round Tuesday.
10 round Tuesday? Yeah. Let's get a few rounds. I'd like to try to train with as many people as I can. Grab some water real quick and we'll make it happen. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Give it up.
What's that?
Thank you.
That's a slow motion finish. What is it called? Sushi origami?
Heel drop training.
You heel kicking me though?
Yeah.
I'm in a winning spot.
Give me your foot.
There you go.
Let go my foot.
Here you go.
Alright, go.
Oh, you break that, I'll give you $100. $100.
$100.
Show me. That's what you gotta do? That's crazy.
Come on.
There you go. Oh, that's a good angle. Let's go pop pop. Just kidding, dude.
Why'd you do something like that? But that's not a cool thing to do.
You think that's what a pop sounds like?
Well, I want to reset. You can't do that. Alright, I'm good. I'm good here. I'm a dog.
You gotta win by tricks, baby.
I never drilled this.
He lost space. Doesn't know where he's at. Look at all that. I gave him the key to the city. You know about the earthquake?
Don't do that.
You know about the earthquake?
No hand defense. Oh, there's no hand defense. Why am I doing this? The no hand defense.
Well, the Gabe special. Spam it.
I can't do it like Gabe.
Wow, dude. No hand defense. Great job, bro. Not today. You're gonna 100 soon, but not today.
I'll put the pressure on you.
Shut up. Proud of you, bro. Good job. This is long, dude. Come on, dude. The weak chunks.
Smooth.
Buy my DVD.
Yvonne's been through worse, bro.
There's no hand defense. God.
Wait, it's because I'm this.
That was pathetic, dude. No hand defense.
Good.
No hand defense.
Oh, that's tight. Oh, that's a tight one. Oh, that's a tight one. Nice. Good job. Good job.
Oh, Vinny, no. Oh, Vinny, no. Oh, Vinny, no. No hooks, Vinny. Oh, my God.
I hit you with the merry-go-round.
Luke v. Luke.
Yeah.
What did you tell him? No more playing around?
We're accepting position. right, Kevon. I'll see you next time. I'll see you next man character.
Be safe. Quite a tin grab.
See ya.
I just want to thank everyone from 10 Planet Austin and everyone that came from the outside to come visit for attending my class tonight. I think it went really well, and I hope everyone else enjoyed it. I appreciate Jacob Norton for helping me set it up. It was very last minute, and it was a great turnout, so I had a great time. Also, just check out Bodega Jiu-Jitsu in Maplewood, New Jersey, run by Kevon Gonzalez, and I'm there sometimes as well. So yeah, thank you guys.
What do you mean you're there sometimes?
I'm trying not to make it sound like it's my place.
Oh, I appreciate it.